5 of our series, revealing the sod of the complete Zohar, section by section, parsha by parsha. We are in section 5, titled, The Mother, Ima, Lends Her Clothes to Her Daughter. Rabbi Shimon said, so accordingly, the heavens and their hosts were created by Ma. We learned that the light descended and then ascended. And when the light ascended, Ele was created. Ele being Zerainpin and Nukva, which are the secret of a garment. And this will be important. As it is written, when I behold your heavens, the work of your fingers. Diktib ki ere shameka ma'aseh. So the work of your heavens, the word ma'aseh, refers to the world of Asiya, which again implies of the aforementioned garment being constructed after Malchut. But before this it is written, how, Ma, majestic is your name in all the earth, who have set your glory above the heavens. Ma, majestic is your name. Your name refers as well to Malchut, and so does in all the earth, in which it says, Uktib Ma, referring to Malchut, Edir, Simka, and Shem here refers to Malchut, Bekal Ha'aretz, and the earth here also refers to Malchut. Who have set your glory above the heavens. Glory, kavod, refers to the glory of the throne exalted from the beginning. Mainly Bina, which is called your glory, above the heavens, which refer to Zerainpin, called heavens. Above the heavens, he created a light for his light. And they enclothed each other. Then Malchut was mounted to the supernal name Elohim, which is the name of Binah. That is why the phrase, in the beginning Elohim created, refers to the upper Elohim, which is Bina, and not to Malchut. Ma, which is Malchut, is not there and is not constructed. As we learned, Mi bara ele, the light descended by means of who, in which he was enclothed. After the light descended and created another light that is called a what, then the light returned and created these. When the letters Aleph, Lamed, He, which refer to Zerainpin and Nukva, are drawn from above, from Bina, downward to Malchut, it is as if a mother, Ima, which is Bina, lends her clothes to her daughter, which is Malchut, and adorned her with her own adornments. So that the light of Bina, having descended its light to that place called a what, and having reascended that light, it is as if the mother gave its garment to the daughter, so that Bina is enclosed inside of Malchut. And when does she properly adorn her? When all the males appear before her. The males here refer to Atika Kadisha, who is called he, Arik Einpin, Abba, Israel Saba, and Zerainpin, which are called males. And when the male appears before her, then is she properly adorned, because her adornment is the secret of those lights, which are her garments, and the secret of the mother lending her garment, meaning the upper lights, to Malkuth, the daughter. And then it is written concerning her that all your males shall appear before the Master, Hashem, because Malkut is called Master, meaning Ha-Edon, and Malkut is called Adonai. As it is written, behold the Ark of the Covenant, Master of all the earth. The Ark of the Covenant refers to all of the worlds, and Master of the earth refers to Malchut, in which is garbed in the garment of the upper lights. Then the letter He is replaced by the letter Yud. Then she dresses up in male clothes, mainly referring to the He, which is Malkut, of the holy divine name. Yod, which is Chokmah, its tip, of course, being Keter. He, which is Binah. Vav, which are the six Sefirot, Chesed, Gevurah, Tifreth, Netzach, Hod, and Yisad. And the final He, which is Malkut. It states that this final He is switched with the letter Yud, and it becomes the name Adonai. In the sod of Edon Kal Ha'aretz, in which the word Edon has the personification of masculinity. Its masculinity comes because all the males are before her, mainly meaning Zerain Pin, Israel Saba, the Atikyomin, Arik Einpin, and Tika Kadisha, and Abba, which are the upper lights, the garment of the mother. And the other letters, specifically Aleph Lamed He, which refer to Zerain Pin and Nukva, are drawn down by Israel from above. There are 9 Partsufim, called 9 lights. And the 9 lights are the Atika Kadisha, the Atik Yomin, and Arik Einpin, which are the 3 heads of Keter. In Chokmah are the Partsufims Abba and Ima. And Bina are the 2 Partsufim Israel Saba and Israel Tavuna. In Yetzirah is the Partsufim Zerainpin, and in Malchut is the Partsufim called Nukva. So when it says the letters were drawn down from Israel, referring to Israel above, it refers to the grade of Bina, which is called above the heavens, and refers to Israel Saba and Israel Tavuna, which are vessel and essence. From Bina down to this place, down to Malchut, which is now called me, just like Bina, when I remember these, Ele, which refers to Zerain Pin and Nukva, and remembrance refers to Zerain Pin, Zakar, and is like the word male, as it is written, he created them Zakar and Nukva, male and female. Means when I utter these letters with my mouth, and I shed tears voluntarily to draw down these letters. When I utter with my mouth refers to Malchut. Atiluth is the grade of the eyes. Bina, Beria is the grade of the ears. Yetzirah is the grade of the nose. And Malchut is the grade of the mouth. Therefore it says, when I speak, referring to Malchut, which has the garments. Ele, from Bina, referring to Zerain Pin and Nukva. And then I was leading them from above. I refers to Bina. When he drew the letters down Ele from above, from Bina, which is the sod of when the temple was destroyed, Bina, a voice went forward, Zerain Pin, and declared, what shall I take as a witness to you, Malkuth? Similarly here, it is written, when they drew Ele from above, referring to Zerain Pin and Nukva, then it says, I, which refers to Bina, was leading them. To the house of Elohim. As it is written, wisdom built a house with 7 pillars, which are the lower 7 sephirot, established it with Bina, and filled it with Da'as. Therefore the house of Elohim refers to Bina, and its 7 pillars, of course. To the house of Elohim. So that Malkut would be called Elohim, just like Bina. And with what shall I draw them? With a voice of joy and praise. Voice refers to Zerayinpin. Joy refers to Bina. And praise refers to Chokmah. A crowd keeping holiday. The holidays are the Sephirot. Rabbi Eleazar, which we know is Zerayinpin, said, "My silence has built the temple on high." Again, a house is built with 7 pillars, the secret of Zerayinpin, and the temple below, which refers to Malchut. And surely it is like the proverb, a word is worth 1 selah, and silence is worth 2. A word is worth 1 selah, referring to Malchut, which comes from the aspect of the mouth, called word. And silence, which comes from the aspect of hearing in the ears, is Bina, which is called 2. My silence has built the temple on high, which is Bina, and the temple below, which is Malchut. And surely it is like the proverb, a word is worth 1 selah, and silence is worth 2. So the words, a word is worth 1 selah, refer to Malchut, and worth 2 or twice as much, because by being silent, 2 worlds, referring to Beriah and Yetzirah, being tied into a Siyah, were created and constructed together. These worlds are Bina and Malchut. If I had not kept silent, I would not have achieved the unison of these 2 worlds. The achievement of the 2 worlds refers to Malchut and Beriah. And to be silent refers to being still. Similarly, I have been still and kept the Lord before me at all times, which refers to the influences of the world of Midot, the world of the forms, and the world of Yetzirah, which is called Yetzer Hara. Subsequently, a person must be silent, in referring to silencing their forms, their spirit form, desire form, holy form, soul form, emotion form, mental form, and physical form, that they can behold and see, as it is written, that you will see the secrets here. And then the upper world will be united with the lower world through the knot of faith, mainly that the oral Torah is only revealed in the written Torah. And when these 2 are combined, the light of the mother's Torah shines. As it is written, do not forsake your mother's Torah. As is written, your Torah is a fire. As is written, on the 8th day, referring to Bina, they'll be circumcised. And similarly, it is written, a fire offering to Hashem. But the highest of these things, for your transgressions, your mother was put away. Referring to the forms, which are called a mighty wind, as Yetzirah is called Ruach, and the lower forms distort your current experiences, robbing you of the ability to obtain that light. This is what is written, for your transgressions, referring to your lower 7 forms, called 7 days under the mother, an unclean thing was your mother put away. Rabbi Shimon said, from here onward we shall complete the text, as it is written, that brings out their host by number. Yeshayahu chapter 40, verse 26. Diktib, Hemotzi, Bimi, Sipar. And the word Sipar is like the word Sefer. And Sefer is the secret of Sephirot. Therefore, bringing them out by number refers to the manifestation or establishment of the Sephirot. This means that everything prior was describing the upper lights, and now we're reading in general the establishment of those lights into Sephirot, by which now we read that brings out their host by number, the host of course being the upper lights, the upper Partsufim. Now they're being manifested as Sephirot. Because there are two grades, and each one has to be recorded. The first is called a Ma, and is the lower one, and the second is called a Mi, and is the upper one. The first one is called What and refers to Malchut, and the second one is called Bina, and this is oral Torah, which needs to be brought out because it's called hidden, and all the more so Bariatic Torah called the Mother's Torah, which is concealed. That brings out Chemotzi, their host by number. Note that the definitive article Hey in the word Chemotzi alludes to that which is known, and there is no other like it, namely me, referring to Bina. Similarly, in the phrase who brings forth bread from the earth, meaning who, referring to Bina, brings forth bread, which refers to Zerayim, as Torah is bread, from the earth refers to Nukva. The one of the lower grade, and all is one, mainly the upper and the lower, Bina and Malchut, because they are both on the same level, where the upper one is Bina and the lower one is Malchut. So he that brings out by number refers to 600,000 that stand together and bring forth the hosts according to their types, which are innumerable. So I stated who brings bread, referring to Zerayim from the earth, and this is why there's 600,000, because we are talking about in the highest world, the fifth world, and we're looking at the Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and Yisad, which are the 6 Sephirot, or the bread that Hu, which is Bina, brought out of Malchut, the earth. Similarly, there are 7 holes in that stone. And the number 600,000 refers to the bread, or the Torah, which is, of course, the Partsufim, Zerayim, in between. All of them, whether these 600,000 or all their hosts, which are innumerable, shall be called by the name. What is meant by called by the name? The name here refers to Malchut. And so when it says that they will all be called by the name, it refers to Malchut, which reflects the light of all of them. Therefore, they are called by the name, literally, as Malchut is the reflection of the upper lights. In the secret of the mother's garment. Furthermore, Divarim is what is quoted here, and Divarim is Malchut, or Asiya. The 5 books of the Torah are the 5 worlds, and Divarim is Asiya, which is being called out by the name, where this is quoted. If you say that he calls them by their names, it is not so, because had it been so, he should have said, be called by his name. Rather, when this grade does not amount to the name Elohim, but is called Me, it does not beget any offspring, and does not bring forth those concealed inside it according to their kinds. Referring to Bina, that is called Me. And it states here, when it does not amount to the name Elohim, which means when it does not have Zerayim Pin and Nukva, called Ele. And by combination with Me, it is called by the name Elohim. Similarly, it must be understood that Zerayim Pin refers to written Torah, and Nukva corresponds to oral Torah. And this is Ele. Furthermore, as explained, the combination of these two is the mother's Torah, meaning the oral Torah revealed in the written Torah, which gives the light of the mother's Torah. And from here, what is written, I will take you to the land of your fathers. Although all of them were hidden inside it, referring to Bina, they still do not amount to the name Elohim, because he created the letters Aleph, Lamed, and Hey, and they amount to his name, referring to Zerayin, Pin, and Nukva in the addition of, amounting to his name because with the creation of Aleph, Lamed, which refers to Zerayin, Pin, and Hey, which refers to Nukva, it amounts to his name, certainly so, for his name is Yod, which is Chokmah, Hey, which is Bina, Vav, which are the 6 Sefirot of Zerayin, Pin, and Hey, which is Nukva, meaning they are enclosed with the precious garments. And of course, the precious garments, the secret of the upper lights. Then Mem and Yud are combined, and they are called Elohim. Thus, by the power of this name, he brought them forth in all perfection. And this is the meaning of the phrase, called by the name, which means by his own name did he call them and bring forth each and every species to exist in perfection. This being the secret of Elohim, being the name of Binah, and similarly Mi Bara Ele. And so when the light descended, Malkuth obtained the mother's garment and was called by Elohim in every respect. And then were they all called out by his name. And so I have bestowed my name on Betzalel, so that Betzalel existence reaches perfection. Of Betzalel, it is written, he was given a spirit of wisdom, which is Chokmah, a spirit of understanding, which is Bina, and a spirit of knowledge, which is Da'at. Betzalel now is a complete Partsufim. Thus he made everything after the pattern, so accordingly. Of the greatness of his might, Yeshayahu chapter 40 verse 26, he asks, what is the meaning of the greatness of his might? He replies, this is the supreme grade where all desires rise up in him, and they ascend through a hidden and secret path. The greatness of his might refers to the world of Atika Kadisha, which is in Keter. And so it states here that they have to ascend, and ascending, similarly, smoke ascended off the altar. After the ascent, which refers to Zerayin Pin, we reach that grade that is called hidden, which is Berea. And then from there, I will take you to the land of your fathers, which refers to the Malkut of Atzilut. Land is Malkut, and father is Abba, the Partsufim of Atzilut, and Chokmah. And so it says a hidden and a secret. And after a person has ascended, so we're going from Malkut, ascended through Zerayin Pin to the world of Berea called hidden, and from here I'll take you to the land of your fathers, which is called secret. And above, the greatness of his might. Because he is strong in power, this is the secret of the supernal world that rose up to the name Elohim. As we stated, the phrase, no one is missing, refers to the 600,000 that he brought forth by the power of this name. Elohim referring to Bina, and when the light descended, the daughter received the name Elohim. And then Yaakov, which is the 600,000, inherited from one end of the heaven and the other end of the heaven. He brought forth by the power of his name, which is Malkuth, because the light descended to Malkuth and ascended to Bina. And because no one is missing from the 600,000, it follows that in every place that Israel died and were punished for their sins, they were afterward numbered, and no one was ever missing from the 600,000 to keep the similarity between the upper and the lower worlds. Just as no one was missing from the number 600,000 above, no one was missing from this number below. The 600,000 refer to the souls of Zerayin Pin. As it is written, a living soul, Nefesh Chaya, which refers to the souls of Israel. Furthermore, the aspect called Chaya comes from the highest world, which is what we are dealing with. Therefore, the number 600,000 is used and not another. And as there are 600,000 sparks above, so are there 600,000 sparks scattered amongst the nations. With that being said, that concludes part 5. The mother Ima lends her clothes to her daughter. In part 6, we will be discussing the Sod of the letters by Rav Hamnuna Saba. As always, if you'd like to support, I'll leave links down below. And pretty soon, Sefer Year B will arrive here, at least a beta copy of it. So I'll be doing a video and be expecting that in a few days. With that being said, feel free to share this video with anyone you know studying the Zohar. There'll be a composition inside of my channel's page so that a folder will exist in which all of these videos will be in linear order. Shalom and Selah.